Mr. Sharippa, and this is History Snapshots. Now, over the next few weeks, we're going to be studying World War II, a time period filled with courageous men and women, controversial decisions, amazing battles, and ugly and evil mustaches. And as cool as World War II may be, it is somewhat difficult to study. There's so many names, dates, battles, countries you need to know. It's hard to know exactly where to begin. Not to mention that World War II happened over 70 years ago. So what is the point of knowing all this information to begin with? So those are our two challenges over the course of the next few weeks. Number one, to make sense of this difficult yet extremely interesting and important time period in history. And number two, to see how this time period relates to our lives today. So in my opinion, an excellent place to start looking at World War II is the rise of European dictators in the 1930s. So that is the subject of this video, the rise of European dictators in the 1930s. Get ready to take some notes, answer some questions, and learn some history. So let's begin talking about the rise of European dictators in the 1930s. And the first dictator we're going to discuss is Joseph Stalin of the Soviet Union. By 1929, Joseph Stalin emerged as the sole dictator of the Soviet Union. As soon as he took control, he transformed the Soviet Union from a communist country into a totalitarian state, or a nation that is ruled by a single party that controls the government in every aspect of its people's lives. Under Joseph Stalin, citizens of the Soviet Union could not read books, watch movies, or practice their religion. Stalin believed that in order to maintain control, he needed to watch over every aspect of his citizens' lives. Stalin was so paranoid of people disagreeing with him that if you showed the slightest sign of disagreement with Stalin, he threw you into death camps. In fact, Stalin killed millions of his own people out of fear that they disagreed with him or his vision for the Soviet Union. He is quoted as saying, "One death is a tragedy, 1 million is a statistic." So this gives you a sense of the man who was ruling the Soviet Union by 1930. So let's move out of Russia and into Italy and start talking about Benito Mussolini, the Italian dictator during the 1930s. When talking about Mussolini, it is really important to think back to World War I. Now, after World War I, Italy was not doing well. Their economy was failing and the government was really struggling. And the Italian citizens began to get frustrated. So because of all this frustration, a very strong man by the name of Benito Mussolini was able to rise to power. And Mussolini was able to rise to power because he promised the depressed Italian people that he would restore Italy to greatness. He talked about the glory days of ancient Rome when the Italians were ruling the world, and he promised to bring Italy back to those days. And what Mussolini did is he turned Italy into the world's first fascist state. Now, fascism is a political system based on militarism, extreme nationalism, and blind loyalty to the state and its leader. Children in elementary schools across Italy would chant every morning, "Mussolini is always right." Kind of like how we say the Pledge of Allegiance every day, they would chant, "Mussolini is always right." So this gives you a sense of how committed Mussolini was to getting the Italian people behind him and his vision for Italy. Alright, so let's move out of Italy and into Germany to talk about our last and probably the most evil dictator of the three, Adolf Hitler. So, as you guys know, Germany and Hitler were very upset about the Treaty of Versailles. They felt it was terribly unfair that Germany had to pay all this money to the Allies for the starting World War I. So Hitler, instead of trying to fix Germany's problems, decided to blame every problem Germany was facing on the Jews. And this is because Hitler was the leader of the Nazi Party, which basically was an extreme form of fascism that really relied on racism to defend its beliefs. So Hitler said, the Jews are the reason for all of Germany's shortcomings. If we can get rid of the Jews, Germany will be great again, and all of our problems will be fixed. Unfortunately, the German people believed Hitler and really liked him at first because they thought that he was right and that it would be, as long as the Jews were destroyed, Germany would be great again. So there you have it. That concludes the first episode of History Snapshots. But before you X out of this video, make sure you understand all of the yellow highlighted terms. 2, answer all of the questions below. And 3, write down something that confuses you so we can bring it up in class tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.